What happens when a serial killer with hard eyes begins to kill couples in Seattle every Valentine's Day? Well, let's find out. This is a review of Hard Eyes from 2025. Hello, everyone. Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we're going to be doing a review for the film Hard Eyes, which is now on Netflix, which is how I watched this film. This is rated R with a runtime of an hour and 37 minutes. As of the recording of this video, we have a Rotten Tomato score of 80% from the critics, 77% from the audience, and a Letterboxd average rating of 2.8. Uh, this film was very, very entertaining. Hard Eyes is a 2025 American romantic comedy slasher. It's maybe the best way to describe it. This is directed by Josh Rubin, uh, and the film features, like I said, it's just a blend of horror elements with kind of a romantic comedy around it, centering, of course, around this mass killer with a very cool design who's targeting couples on Valentine's Day. Uh, and I think for what this movie was, I think the film itself is very brave because of how unserious it was being about everything. It's just really, really fun. Like it almost pokes fun at itself and the genre, but in like the best way possible. It's very self-aware, but that plays to the strength of the film, and I really appreciated that. Like I mentioned, this is directed by Josh Rubin, and it stars Olivia Holt as our main protagonist, Allie, Mason Gooden as Jay, the love interest, Gigi Zumbato as Monica, and Michaela Watkins as Crystal, and Devon Zawa as Detective Sebe Hobbs, Jordana Brewster as Detective Janine Shaw, which, like I said, that's how unserious this movie is. Uh, the detective names are Hobbs and Shaw, and I think that's very funny. And then, of course, we have Justin on as David Shaw. Uh, so let's get a little bit deeper into what this movie was about. Set in Seattle, the film follows Allie. She's a presentation designer recovering from a recent breakup. On Valentine's Day, she's paired with Jay Simmons, a new consultant to work on a jewelry ad. Their collaboration coincides with a series of murders committed by the Hard Eyes Killer, who targets couples during the holiday. Mistaken for a couple, Allie and Jay become the killer's next targets and must navigate their growing feelings for each other while trying to survive the night. Like that mix up, like first of all, it's a mix up, right? Which is really funny as to like it's almost meta commentary as like how do these killers that are targeting very specific people know that those people that they're targeting are who they are really after? Whether it's like the old trope of like, oh, this killer only kills virgins or whatever. Like, how do they know? Like, in this case, it's a case of mistaken identity, and I think that's very, very funny. And I think the idea of this hard ice killer terrorizing couples all across the U.S. on Valentine's Day, like you never know where it's gonna hit. I think that's very interesting. The idea that Detective Janine Shaw has to team up with her partner Hobbs to take on this menace. And then, of course, the twists and turns of all this. It really works. It really works. This movie does not take itself too seriously, and that shows up through the screen. I think the performers are doing such a good job and look like having a good time while doing this, which really works. So I really think that the people that got this film, they're gonna really enjoy it, right? It's just a raving good time. It's a highlight of like how to balance the comedy, the horror, the romantic stuff. It really just, and then of course it's gory when it needs to be because it's still a slasher film. Like I knew when those big things were coming, right? It's pretty predictable. Like the camera sets up in the right place, and boom, here comes like a horrible death. But that's fine. It works with the film. You know, anybody that doesn't like the excessive violence maybe will not have a good time with this. But other than that, like if you're watching this Hard Eyes, which as I mentioned, the killer, great design. I love the idea of like these light up hard eyes that's kind of centered around Valentine's Day. It really, really works. I think the movie, now that it's on streaming, will really just like rise to the top of some of the better slashers that we've had recently. Because I think what works now in this slasher genre, and I'm not an expert in this, um, is taking the slasher genre and kind of like adding layers to it, right? Making it more interesting. We've seen all the straight up slashers, and those still work and those are still fun. But what about giving me some twists and turns and maybe a wink at the audience? All that stuff really, really cool. So this is a good time. It's not too long of a film. It really works. So if you have watched this, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. I think there's like a bit of an end credit scene from what I remember, which is really, really good. Uh, so stay tuned for that. And of course, if you haven't seen it, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.